are. Just now.
Oh, okay.
So, I was going to say, we just opened ourselves up for a lawsuit. But, okay, so we have to take into account the fact that Nick and Danielle are not coming today, so we need to write them out of the live show next week. We don't want to do anything that's not rehearsed. So I don't know what role Danielle was playing. I think she was our roving reporter somehow, right?
Yeah.
Why isn't Danielle here today?
I just got I think you got the same email.
I'll check.
She's sick, so she.
She looked kind of poopy yesterday.
Yeah. So, and Nick has some other issues. I can't remember what Nick was doing because nothing did.
Vinny's not gonna be there.
Oh, he.
But he's not gonna be here today?
No, because he,
Oh, right.
he's gone to play golf.
So
good.
actually,
Hop on bed, play golf.
Nick and Anna it was Anna who was supposed to be producing the water cooler segment for the live show.
Okay.
So if she's not here, then that's a problem. But I don't think Nick not being here is that big of a deal because we would probably stick him on camera.
Okay. So we were doing the water cooler with you two hosting? I missed that.
Well,
Um,
I don't know. Their thing, so I don't know.
They're gonna do their thing. We were gonna try to get some of the other like normal guests of water pool, like our normal guests, and then ask other people from the audience to be in it.
But you're probably
That was gonna be our
normal.
solution.
Okay. All right, I think maybe we should rethink it.
I mean, we can just have water cooler. It's the last one, although, is water cooler the 80s? What? Oh,
I don't know.
We need the 80s.
we need the 80s.
You
Um,
could do the 80s instead of the 70s.
What?
You could do the 80s instead of the 70s.
You wanna do that?
Either way, that kind of like,
What?
so we could do the 80s instead of the 70s.
That makes sense down
I learned nothing.
there. I don't care though.
Okay, can we sort of go over what we're
No.
doing? So we have a sense of what's going on here? And then, you know, I'd like to start with simple things like how long should the show be?
We figure each segment is gonna be less than 10 minutes. 3 hours, only an hour and a half long. So, we're gonna start, I wanna start at, 12:45 on the dot and go till 2. Could be less, could be more, depending on how much Liam talks.
Well,
Maybe I
could be
could, yeah.
3 then. 4.
4 hours.
So we can keep it to, I would like to keep it to under an hour,
That's fine.
if we can. So, okay, so.
Because, yeah, starting at 12:45 and then ending at 1:45 is totally fine.
Okay, good. Okay, so.
And we're giving each show, what I say, 8 to, I'm sorry, I'm really tired, 8 to 10 minutes.
You went partying last night? after?
Yeah, you know.
Party at
No.
Taco Bell.
Being a well-known producer, they were buying you.
No, we wish that that was the case. If we didn't have to be in class this morning, I would be hungover
I
right
told
now.
you didn't have to be all the time. 'Cause I'm so
You
sorry.
told us too late.
Biz said we have to be.
No,
And
it's-
I'm supposed to
it's
be,
not here.
and since you're not producing the live event,
Yeah.
I guess I have to be here today, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And I can't do anything without Donnie.
I never thought the Osmonds would grow up to look like you two.
It's a new world.
Yeah.
Right. Do we have the technology in place? Let's do the simple things first. Do we have everything?
Why are you saying that's simple?
That's-
Let's
Well, at
do the
least
hard
at
things
least it
first.
takes the heat off of me and it goes to you.
That's what I think he's looking
Well,
for.
the thing that I'm most concerned about is getting some kind of audio system out there.
It's EA system.
Yeah.
Globesville and audio are like oil and water.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's
You're
true.
right. I get it.
I was gonna say, no one's
Oh,
really
man.
denying
We should do it like Chaplin, all silent, just title cards, we'll just bring them up.
Without you, without-
Will that work? We just did that on the static
Um,
before, so.
What I'm gonna do, actually, I think Herb,
Yay. See, that's what you do when you're a little late. You bring in donuts for us.
Herb is the contact technically for, locking down a PA system for whatever day that is. Well, we might be cutting it close to the PA system. It's fine. I have my own at home that I could bring as a backup. It's not as powerful, but it'll probably get the job done in that cafeteria.
But I'm reasonably certain if Herb orders this thing today for next week.
I can imagine that it'll be okay.
It's gonna create a problem for the actual show, though, right? If we're going to live stream it, would that create problems for the audio for the show, since we can't
Have a direct food or something?
You're talking about the
feedback from the speakers?
speakers coming back into the lav mics?
Yeah.
I guess if the speakers are up front, if we put the speakers by where the cameras are, which are far enough away from the desk where these kids are sitting, we might be okay.
And if not, we just move that stream, we'll record, send it back.
Well, either or, live or record, we're still going to get feedback within the system.
Well, we won't have to use, oh, right. Okay, so we're gonna.
So we'll have to play with that, unfortunately, day up. It's very possible that we'll just have to turn down the volume or play with the mics or something. We'll figure it out, though. I mean, there obviously is a way during live performances on stage, everywhere else in the world, where people do have mics on stage and there are speakers on stage and they somehow cooperate. So we'll have to figure out how that
And we're not
happens.
everybody else in the world. And
We're
audio
Globesville, I
equipment
know.
does not like Globesville. Just like the weather doesn't like Globesville, audio equipment doesn't like Globesville.
Nothing like Globesville.
Okay, so, I'm trying to, my hero.
Oh, did you just recall our hashtag?
What?
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. It's on camera. It's fine.
My hero now is George, so I'm trying to mimic his style. So I'll
Watching a
start
lot of
with
the-
oil and water. Second. Oil and water. So from now on, what that means is this. Here's the set. I'm looking at it. If you enter into the cafeteria from the
Quad.
side rather than from the front area. Okay, you're walking down a hallway, you reach this sort of open area. So the bathrooms are here. Okay, and then the cafeteria opens up here. And then there's a little glass thing and goes back like this, and then this is mostly windows and monitors, television monitors. Then there's a wall here that's filled with
Vending machines,
vending
microwave.
machines. Then it goes out this way, and there are windows here too. There's a door here, and then there's a wall back here. Okay. There are always students all the way through here.
We have to get there early and meet the people.
We have to somehow kick them out. Get rid of this. But we also have the problem of, and I think somebody mentioned it 2 weeks ago, we have to make sure we don't block the exits and we're not creating fire hazards for people. So we have to be careful where we put things. Okay, then there are tables and chairs everywhere. There's a lot of traffic this way and this way. And the goal is to get here most of the time, which is where the cafeteria is, where the food is, back here. Okay? So, we have a problem shooting here and here because of the windows, and we have a problem shooting here because of the traffic.
Where you just pointed before is the internet drop that is in that room.
Here?
Yes, and there is also a TV there. It's the most logical place to put the desk, basically on that second hump that you put there.
Okay, so we're getting rid of these tables. We're gonna build out a table. We're gonna, we'll confiscate the tables. We'll put them together, basically, and we'll use them there. Now, what are we doing? How are we starting?
In the rundown.
Liam's gonna start, and then we're gonna go right into weekly rundown.
Okay, so the weekly rundown, people, you're going first?
Not weekly rundown,
Pangea now.
Pangea now, I'm
We're
sorry.
going opposite order, so Pangea now, and then you.
My rundown that I have now is Pangea Now, Pangea Sports, Pangea
Oh,
Music,
sports.
Water Cooler, Weekly Rundown.
No,
That's
it's not you, it's Pangea now.
it. It's all the Pangeas, Water Cooler, Weekly
We're start-
Rundown.
Yeah, she has to leave, so we're starting with Pangea now.
Okay, and what is, oh, nobody's here from
No, Andre's running late apparently, and Sandra's a Wednesday person.
Right.
I'm their director, so,
So what is the plan? Do we have one yet?
yeah, we have a script. Would you like to hear it?
Sure.
Hold on. Hold on, wait a minute.
The live script.
Ah.
I'm sorry if I took so out of it.
I think Janet's one.
It's just,
It's loading.
Okay.
The school's at 11.
Okay,
There you
now,
go.
in the meantime,
I have it.
Oh,
Hello, welcome to Globesville Live event here at Salton Hall. I'm Sandra Raymond. Andre introduces himself. Today we are broadcasting live from Salton Hall to familiarize the students with Globesville. Today's theme is Throwback Thursday. We will go out into the crowd and ask some students some social media topics for the 2000s and through today. So if they come up with the right answer, they get a prize, and then they have a whole bunch of basically useless facts from 2000 to today about celebrities and sports figures and
so
Politics.
they're asking, they're throwing out questions?
yeah,
and-
so they can give out prizes.
Okay, and then, so,
dangerous teacher.
okay, so we're gonna mic the audience? Is that what will happen? We'll have somebody in Liam will sort of,
Tag along with it.
Yeah.
All out and like.
okay. So, are these people sitting or standing?
They normally sit, but it's Andre and Sandra. 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 We can make them do whatever works better in the situation. So if we want them standing, we can make them stand.
Okay, so they'll stand in front of the table.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, if that's what you want, that's what you get.
They'll have wireless microphones, and,
Will they?
Well, they're lavs. The question, I don't care about the microphones. We can have the microphones walk up into the quad. I don't care about that. The cameras are the thing that I'm concerned about because wiring the cameras, they have to be wired. We don't have wireless cameras unless you use Skype stuff. But going into the crowd with all those tables and chairs with the wire, behind you, is going to be a problem. So we're going to have to set up people to be basically in the front row, or to set it up almost like an audience where it's just rows of chairs, maybe tables that are facing our thing, and we could have the camera go down the aisle, or set it up that way that we can actually get the camera into spots if we wanted to get it down far enough. We could have one camera at least do that, and the other camera on the desk.
okay, so somebody come up with a creative idea. Sasha?
You gotta give me a moment to think.
No.
Uh,
No, thank you.
What Donnie's saying is that we're gonna have a tied-down camera because of the crowds. And that people that are gonna participate in the show have to be up front.
No, but then he said that we could have, like, so make, like, how like you go watch Maury and there's like those channels in the middle so that the camera can move up and down it, and then it gives us more of a range in the audience.
Okay, so one thing to do is to carve out an aisle and run the cable beforehand, tape it down, and have enough slack so that we can be a little portable with the camera. Okay. Can I ask, why do we really care?
What do we really care about?
Well, one of the things we should decide is whether we want the audience to see themselves in the camera. Now, the positive thing to having them see themselves is that they'll want to stay. And they'll act out, and they'll wave, and they'll call their friends and say, I'm on TV, and they'll do all of these things.
Can we hook a laptop up to one of the monitors that are in there?
Yeah, what's going to happen is the auxiliary, or I should say the program out. Should be the program out, right? Program out. Program out. The program out of the Anycast will go up to the monitor that's above their desk. So there's a monitor sitting up there. I will patch into that, and whatever's coming out of our program, whatever's live, will go up to the TV.
Okay. Now, the negative side of doing that is that we actually have to have true production values then. Because if they're not seeing what's being broadcast, I don't care if we put a camera here and focus it at. We'll just zoom in when we can. We'll have a rough thing, but people will see cameras and they'll think they're on TV, but they can't evaluate it because they're not going to see it. And we're much more worried about the live event at the moment than we are the broadcast event. It's okay. So if we put a camera crew going back and forth, it's going to create a lot of issues for us. They'll be blocking people. There'll be people that are going to try to obstruct them because they want to be on camera. They're going to be running over. It's going to change the focus of things forever. You know, it's going to be hard to keep them the focus with the camera crew.
Yeah, it does make sense to have almost like a eagle's nest kind of camera that just overlooks the cafeteria and does like a Price is Right zoom in from, wherever the person is. We zoom in right on that
That's what should have been
spot.
our theme.
The price of right. Okay, so what Nanya is saying, and I think it's a really good thing to do, it's what they do in soap operas and situation comedies to keep the audience happy. You set up a series of cameras that do not get recorded, that people can see on screen and be happy seeing themselves. So we'll do that. We'll take the camera, we'll place it in a place that can get a large group of people. We can see their faces. And we'll leave that running so that they see themselves on camera, and we will record with two separate cameras. That would mean we'd need 3 cameras. Does that make sense? So one camera will be on them, and the real cameras will be on them, whoever's there and whoever's there. Nobody cares, so I guess that's what.
No, I'm processing. I'm sorry, I'm processing.
Hooked up to the TV, that's the thing
Yeah,
behind
there'll be
the
one
table?
camera that's hooked up to the television
Can we,
behind the table.
can we do that?
Yeah.
That way they're
Are we allowed to do that, is what I should say. Not can we, I know we can, we have the
We have the
resources to do that.
technology?
We have the technology, we can build it, we can make it stronger, yes, I know that. But are we allowed to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Figure if we get out of town within an hour, by the time they call the cops, what we got?
I like him.
Jim's done this
Think
before.
like me. It will take time for them to call the cops.
All right, so,
All right,
Okay,
so
so
as long
now
as
the
we use
issue-
those things, then we're good. I think, you're laughing at me.
No,
no, they're actually,
no.
they were laughing at me, it's okay.
I'm thinking about the cops because this situation has come in so many times in my life.
I have Keystone cops now in my brain from last night's
From last
meetings.
night, yeah.
They're running around, we'll point at Axie can, the
No,
cops
I
will be
can
running
really
around.
do it, trust me.
We are the Keystone Cops.
Okay, so now we go back to what is going to make this show work. So I need the producer's attention. So that
I'm
there'll be
paying
people like,
attention, I'm paying
there'll be
attention, you
people
see
like
this?
Greg who produces and Doug who produces. The idea people need to help us actually have ideas. Ideas? Greg? Yeah.
Well, I have to ask, what are you really looking to hear? Like, do you not like the setup of it, the 3 cameras, or?
I'm just trying to
Facilitate
do
ideas.
what's the best thing for the show. And you're the idea people, I'm old.
For Pangea Sports, I was thinking, because we're going to cover old school soccer, like 2000 soccer and 2000 basketball. We're going to get some like old school football shirts, and we're going to have either a free throw contest with a little mini basketball hoop or a dunk contest, and see who can win.
Okay, so that's the second group that's getting the audience involved. Are the other groups getting? You're getting the audience involved too.
We're doing a game show.
You're doing a game show.
It's gonna be, news lines, that like weird design headlines that I got from like news stations, and like which ones they're on.
Okay, so this is becoming a nightmare. to produce. Luckily, I'm not producing.
I thought you wanted it, you can have it, I'm gonna go take a nap.
So,
I'm,
there are,
there's a couple of things that I'm concerned about our location in the cafeteria because they don't want us blocking anything. And I'm concerned about our footprint, honestly, in that small of a space. And I'm also concerned about, which, you know, we're gonna go there today and check it out, I'm also concerned about actually having people there. Because if we have 10 people sitting in the cafeteria during that time, we
There will
might as well
be-
do it here, because
there
there's just
will
gonna be 10 people
There
here.
will be 100 people. And once the cameras are there, there'll be more. Don't worry.
Alright, so, but, I mean, these are
As
the
soon as
things that
they
concern
find
me, and
out, I'll be there.
you're not gonna be there, you're ditching
I'll
us.
be there.
You have more
I'll-
important
I'll-
things to do than this class.
I'll be there in spirit.
You'll be watching somewhere.
I will be
laughing.
watching, actually. I'll be right next door with all the faculty. Maybe I'll bring the faculty over. I'll have 200 faculty members.
There you go.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Have them
Chase
participate.
the,
You do a local one.
Yeah, so those are my concerns.
that's
I'm
what we're
con-
gonna work out, right?
Yeah, I know, that's what we're working out right now, and in theory, it works on the whiteboard, is what I'm saying. I'm just concerned about the situation once we get in there. Like,
I would be,
is the staff gonna make us move? Like, is the cafeteria staff gonna make us move?
No.
You know, stuff like that.
You're, from where I'm thinking about where you guys are gonna be, you're not in the way of the kitchen, of people going into the cafeteria. You're gonna be up against the wall where that big screen is, right, where the bookshelf or
Right.
magazine
Magazine rack.
Yeah, the magazine rack is. So the only thing right there are tables. Now, you're gonna move those out of the way, right?
Yeah, how early do you think we should get there?
Before free hour.
10
Well,
o'clock.
obviously before we
We
so
should
like
be
right
here at
now.
9:30, get our stuff, and get over
Go
there.
over there.
We'll be all set up before, what?
We're not doing water polo, right?
No work.
No water polo that day. And we discussed, so this is something we discussed before, because we're doing the live show, that there's not gonna be any live shows in the afternoon. And I don't think that that should be the case. I think since we have a schedule, we should stick to it, and we're already advertising this time slot, those afternoon time slots, that we should stick to it. But Donnie says no, that we should just punch out and call it a day. What do you think?
Oh, would we just be expanding the shows that we were already doing, or
Any
are we
good
gonna be
ones left?
producing
Nah, you have
new
nothing
shows?
to do on
Everyone will be technically doing 2 shows that day.
So
Their normal show in the afternoon and the regular show, the special show for this event.
So we would have 3 shows, 2, 3, and 4 o'clock. The only issue I see is the 2 o'clock show.
Unless what we could do, I have an aha idea, despite lack of sleep.
Stay there.
What we could do, since we're not gonna do the water cooler during the live show, we can move the water cooler to the afternoon and call it the water cooler, but it doesn't have to be the water cooler, and have someone interview the hosts about their experience and talk about the live event or something like that, and then maybe
Like the
break it
Talking
to.
Dead, but
Yeah, like,
talking live.
or like have our post-mortem about the live event as a water cooler, something like that.
What about the idea of doing the water cooler cafeteria?
You know,
I mean, I'm sorry, not the water cooler, the afternoon shows in the cafeteria.
just
Don't
stay
break down,
there.
just stay there.
Well, there'll be nobody in the cafeteria because everybody will be either
Why
on
do we
campus
care?
or at class.
Why do we care?
Yeah.
You want us to just stay there?
Well, no, I'm just throwing it out as an idea, because one of the problems is gonna be getting all of that stuff back here.
And actually, that's true too, because we won't be set up, the Anycast will not be set up
Because we have it over
to
there.
stream from the Nigeria room. Anything we stream, if we're gonna stream at all,
Well-
will be through the computer here or through the Anycast.
Well,
and we'll have
what I
to
was
set
saying
up
about a
over
water
there.
cooler, we do it in there, so we don't need the Anycast.
That's true.
So that's why I was thinking that, because of
Well,
the whole setup
I would
issues.
prefer to keep the schedule the way it is.
I would prefer to keep the schedule the way it is too, but
So, get rid of the water cooler
altogether.
altogether, keep the afternoon shows the way they are, and,
So do two, everyone does two pantry shows that day?
yeah, or they can expand them when they're doing it. But yes, everybody is doing two.
While they're in the cafeteria, they can be like, oh, if they're gonna expand or whatever, like, oh, if you wanna hear more, or see us more, we're gonna keep
Right,
going
we
later.
actually
gonna
need
keep
to
going.
keep promoting 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 4 o'clock.
2:30, it's the 30, it's on the 30th, so
30th.
2:30, 3:30, 4:30. When
And there'll be
things-
some people there, there won't be a lot, but there'll be some. which will be a good, again, a good experience. But
And I don't wanna make people do more work than they have to, but I kinda feel like we're promoting the shows for those time slots, and I don't wanna take a week off when we finally got flyers up. We know no one's gonna.
Okay, does anybody have an issue with it?
I like the idea, because that day it will be a whole day dedicated to that part, you know, people will get connected to all the shows all together, you know.
Yeah.
It's the same setup.
Oh.
Liam? Ladies, turn your eyes away. I almost said something, but it was the wrong class.
Liam, did you see his shorts, did you see his shorts today?
I did.
You can't not see his shorts, really.
You should, I
Barely
have,
see his shorts.
and I have the exact same pair now. Last week.
Last week, yeah.
So you're wearing them next week, is that what you're?
I'm actually wearing them now.
All right, so let's back to the.
Okay, so-
Good one.
So we're going to be doing, the live shows in the afternoon, and we'll be doing,
We're just gonna continue on, and that'll give everybody a chance to eat and take breaks and whatever, because we'll already be there, we don't have to shuffle things around.
okay. So now let's get back to what we're doing.
So, you don't get a break, Liam, ever.
Here's the problem that is arising now that I understand the flavor of the shows. We're doing 5 of these mini shows, right? Each one of them has a studio audience involved. Okay, the only way to organize this is to carve out parts of the cafeteria that will be yours. We can't, in the middle of a live show, spend 10 minutes setting up. We have to be ready. So what'll end up happening is we're gonna have to find a way, unless you can come up with a better idea, we're gonna have to find a way of placing you where you're going to be, so that we can just go from Liam to you and from Liam to you. So we have to do at least, 2 in advance. We have to stay 2 ahead of ourselves, so that there's no stopping. The other thing is, it's gonna be very, very hard to control even the people in your group. Because once the camera gets turned on, they're gonna wanna host your show. Especially if you're in the audience, they're gonna take over, they're gonna try to take over. So if you can't take that back really fast, we're screwed. Because we break one show, we break all shows. So we need a plan if somebody decides they wanna take over. That's the plan.
So if a random geezer in the crowd tries to.
So yeah,
So, baseball bats, is that a solution?
Well, I think.
A water pistol, and I'll just speak to.
Bad luck.
Liam's idea, or Donnie's idea was to keep these tables, here, as the main tables for back and forth. So we may do that to start the show, because it might be the easiest thing to do. So if we have Pangea now, and they're standing in front of the table, and they're just throwing things out here, that's fine. And what are these are the random questions.
Yeah.
So what's gonna happen to the rest of this crowd while these guys are bantering with these random questions?
Start shouting on and stuff.
Yeah, or they're gonna lose interest and
They might be very interested or not interested at all.
make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
I can handle that.
You can have that?
Yeah.
Do you have a pair of shorts like Liam does?
Oh, I don't need it, trust me. I can handle 100 together. India is full of crowd.
Okay.
Done that before.
So give us a suggestion as to how you would handle it.
The thing is that if you start up, if you become them, adapt the way they are, they feel you the part of them,
Okay.
and then you can control them. Otherwise, if you go against them, it doesn't work.
Okay,
You know, you have to be like, yeah, this gotta be like that, you are right, he's right, he got a point. And then they back up, then they, again get back to their seats, You can control them only in one way, and that's the way becoming part of them, to, shut them out. Yeah, he's coming to that point, that's what, he's coming, he's trying to be there, yeah, I know, I feel just the same. So that's the way you can control them, there's no another way. because they're young and they're rebellious, and when they start rebelling, they all join together. They love that part, you know.
You're just talking about hormones, Rachel.
Yeah, that's what. Trust me.
Typical young 20-something.
Yes, we gotta fight.
So, I'm not sure what that means.
I know, but I've done it, so I know. That means being part of them can really control them. Trust me. There is no other.
Right? You're having too much fun. Donuts or not?
Yes, Ty can do that. Ty and me can do that. Trust me. Ty is not here, but Ty is also one of those people who can control this kind of a stuff. Trust me, I'm telling you.
I believe you. I'm sorry. I'm never going to say anything bad to you again. That's for sure. Yes.
Since like I think Danielle is not there, I can like help Liam to host the show. Like if you want a female, whatever, like I can do it.
How do we jump from controlling the crowd to you being the host of the show?
No, I'm just saying if you need someone like, 'cause since Danielle is not here, like I can
Okay,
be a part of it. Like
It sounds to me, what Axie is saying, is that we
she can
need-
control the crowd.
No, she can't. She thinks she can, but she can't.
Yeah.
This is not Indian kids, this is American kids, and they are just, they'll hit you over the head with a beer can.
What?
20
And then-
times more hormones.
And why? Tea though, so.
So I think what Axie's saying is that if we had plans, if we had people around the different crowds,
Yeah.
we could sort of, like at a wedding, we can bang the glasses when people are talking and have them shut up.
Yeah.
And if you're at the table, you can quiet them down, but if you're not at the table, they're not gonna listen to you. So it would be good if we had people in the four corners, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
like this. that we
Yeah,
can-
yeah.
As far as the crowd that goes from the south, there are people, mainly engineering and video people who play video games, and they're not really open. They're very shy. They're not.
Oh, ha ha ha! You're
No,
just saying the
I-
opposite thing. Trust me, man.
I know them. I know them. So,
You know them?
Yeah.
I see
So
them.
you can help control the crowd as well.
I
I mean, do you know them, or you just know
I
that
know
they're there?
them. Like I get friends.
Good.
Yeah, they're like friends.
Okay.
They are like very much. They're loud when they're together, but I'm sure if you put the camera, they're gonna be shy. There are one or two who are very open, but mostly who hang out there and play video games, they're quite shy. They're not.
I
Like,
think
they're
I agree.
nerds. They're like.
I do.
They're nerds.
Good, I
They're
hope
like.
you're right.
They're
I
nerds.
figured they would, because if you ask, if like Liam goes up to someone in the crowd and tries to talk to them, you're gonna be really awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna be. They're not like rebellious and they don't have
I
hormones.
don't know,
like-
maybe they'll just
That's
stand
not
there.
gonna happen.
That's gonna be a way to
Getting
quiet
close
them, like,
to
oh, you're really
the
loud, you wanna talk, like, alright, come over here, we'll talk to you.
It's always like one person says fight, and the 10 people from behind say fight, 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 kind of a thing, you know?
So if like someone's
They all
being
join
like,
together.
I'll just get you, yeah.
I've been in thousands
So
of
the idea is
fights,
they
you
were
all
trying
join
to
together.
and that'll,
Yeah. So be like, alright, if you keep talking, you're gonna
I get the tweets on my phone.
I'm glad we're giving all of this information to Liam, since it's gonna be his main job to do this, to control the crowd. But, we don't have the answer yet, yes?
Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna know what the crowd is like until we get there that day, because if it's a nice day out, there could be like 3 people sitting there. And if it's raining, it could be 100 people sitting there, so, you know, we can't count on
There are
what
gonna
the
be,
students are gonna be.
every seat is gonna be filled. Cannot.
What are you planning? Do you have to
He's just planning to get
Our
a
last Globesville live event. Guys, our last Globesville live event, it was all faculty and staff and maybe 3 students that were there that weren't part of Globesville.
Because it's
So
no promotion.
what I'm saying is that we
I'm not-
can't
I don't
count
wanna
on it
make-
being
you're right.
students, we
Okay,
can't,
you're
you
right.
know,
There'll be
we have
nobody-
to,
let's start
we
with
have to
there's
plan
nobody
for
there.
every
If there's
possible
nobody there,
scenario.
then it'll be fine. Then it'll be a very controlled environment and we can play with ourselves.
That's what she
That's
said.
what she said.
Alright, I think you do it.
That's so 70s. That's what she said. Jeez. Oh, man.
I've said worse.
That's a 70s phrase.
They're preparing for Throwback Thursday, that's what.
Oh, yeah.
Today we do have
Like
the
the
70s.
Okay,
Today we do
so
have the
let's-
70s too.
First we'll do the full crowd and then we'll do the no crowd. But let's do the full crowd. Just-
Full crowd of students or full crowd of faculty staff?
There will be no faculty members there. No.
Because you have them all.
Unless I tell
Held
them they
hostage?
can go, yes. I think Don better be there, but Don will be late, so, you know.
Actually, Rob will be there.
Rob will be there. Rob will be there. So there will be 2 faculty members. No. And I'll try to keep them occupied for as long as I can.
So you will be the third one.
I'm not gonna be
He's not
there. I'll be there too.
Spirit.
Spirit. I'm not coming within 100 yards of this thing. Get down. Okay, so, where's Liam gonna be?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
So Liam is gonna have a wireless microphone. Actually, Liam can't have a wireless microphone because he's gonna be on the audio. He's gonna be on the sound system.
You should have his own camera.
Right, the sound system isn't going to have a wireless.
What do you
You're
mean?
gonna be corded.
Why would he be corded?
Is your sound system wireless?
We're gonna take the output of the Anycast into the sound system. So, any of the mics that we have here, we're gonna throw into the Anycast, that main mix is coming out.
Oh, and then we'll go to the sound system?
And then we'll PA.
Ah, okay, good.
Okay, so we need a place for the hosts of the shows, we need a place for Liam to like pace, and then we need a table close by, separate for the Anycast and any sort of other setup,
Need a control room table,
yeah.
And that's gonna be wherever the outlet is?
which is next to the desk.
Somewhere right here.
No, it is like.
Which, you know, it's not that bad if they get in the shop, because they're in the shop when we're in the Pangea room sometimes, so if they have to be close, they have to be close, it's no big deal.
Okay, so, the order of the show again is Pangea Now, then
Sports, then
Sports.
music,
Okay.
then, I don't know. what did
And
say?
you now,
Sports, music, water cooler, the weekly rundown.
Music.
No water coolers. So.
Okay, so there you go.
weekly rundown.
The, quite honestly, the Pangea Now opening sounds very weak to me.
We can change it. What do you want us to do?
Well,
Sandra and Andre, I wish Andre was, when is he coming to?
Sandra, he just texted me, he said his alarm didn't wake him up again. I'm gonna buy him a new alarm.
I'm gonna
Buy
start
him a
going to
rooster.
his
has a
house
phone.
I'm gonna buy him a rooster.
throwing him over my shoulder and bringing
He
him
needs
to
to get
school.
this morning.
I don't care if he's naked.
Because
Like, cause he's late all the time. And we always need him.
We'll get
Like,
him
right
shorts,
now.
We'll run through that money.
Yeah, they need
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so we got a
So,
Pangea now.
here's my problem with Pangea Now, and that is, it's gonna set the tone and the format for the rest of the shows.
I know.
So if Pangea Now is only gonna be doing, audience, participation, it's gonna be very hard to bring in other people and change have them change the format. And I'm not really quite sure, how that's different than what we've been doing and we're trying to do with, Grace and Janine's show. It sounds like it's gonna be more of a comedy. We're gonna make fools of people by throwing microphones at them.
They have it set up so they like their first trivia thing is on November 7, 2000. What presidential election ended in a tie? What were the candidates' names? So, like, that's their first question. So,
Grace, what was the answer to that?
2000?
Yeah.
Bush and Kerry.
Doug, what's the answer to that? I'm not gonna ask the non-American citizens, they'll know the answer. Janine? Okay, so three tries. Okay. So, is that an audience grabber?
It was boring as hell.
Our first question was
No.
before that, make
Right.
far.
I'm not that familiar with that show. I've only seen one or two of them. What is their strength? They usually do reporting.
their strength, honestly, is Sandra. Actually, Sandra is you haven't had a chance to watch it yet? What they did last night when I was going around interviewing people, they were the ones that were here in base camp.
Yeah, I saw like 2 minutes of it.
If you watch the whole thing, Sandra is amazing. She, like Donnie was saying before, she's like a parade reporter. You know, like when it's the St. Patrick's Day parade and someone has to comment on what's going on as it's going on. She's very good at that. And Andre's, you know, a personality. He's great. He plays off Sandra very well. They would be good to get the crowd going. We just need a better script for them.
Now, I thought that was Liam's role.
Liam's role is to get the crowd going, but we need to also keep the crowd's interest within the shows, or else they're just gonna walk away and they're not gonna wanna
No,
interact.
I know, so I'm trying to.
And they're not gonna get our stupid yo-yos.
Assuming we get
Yo-yos.
Liam,
We're
if
getting
Liam
yo-yos.
grabs their interest, gets it started,
Oh,
the next step is
to keep their interest.
by doing the game show.
I was
Do,
thinking.
do they have to go first?
They have to go first because Sandra has to leave. Sandra's a Wednesday person. She works nights on
So she's
Thursdays.
basically,
So she's coming in, she's hitting and quitting. So,
Liam, what would you say?
I was
we
saying to
can-
open the show. I was going to have Doug do a crazy little beatbox session to like
Okay.
get everyone focused onto it, onto the area.
That would work.
Yeah,
Like
that
Doug
works.
lay down some sick beats.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
sickest of beats, of course.
Always sick.
Okay, so let's hold off until Andre gets here.
yeah,
So-
let's,
so
let's
go.
table that
So-
because I don't wanna,
Okay.
like, I'm their director, but I do what they tell me to do,
Right.
basically.
Okay, so then we go to sports. So how do we get from that to sports?
We can have them transition to sports easily,
Well-
with something that they say.
So they're
Technically
gonna,
speaking,
they're gonna be
maybe
here,
not.
they're gonna be here, and the sports people will be here?
Oh, thanks.
Is that what you're thinking? So they'll just, you'll just move out of the audience and sit down, and you'll be there, voila?
Yeah, we can, I mean,
So then
do we
they'll
want
just-
Liam to do the transition, or do we want them to do the transition?
I think Liam should do the transition.
Yeah, that's
I think that
fine.
he should go through.
Yeah, and we have all of these blow-up globes that I think is gonna be really hysterical to like throw at each other's heads while this is all going on and stuff like that, because it's not gonna break anything, and,
People will be entertained by that.
yes, people will be entertained by that.
And,
Yes.
and people will not be listening to them. That's my own.
Well,
opinion.
no, I'm not
It's a
saying
good
while
idea.
they're talking, I'm talking about during like the transitions
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah, she's.
Like going from like one thing to another, having some sort of thing going on. So, and that's like also do, you know, the way we have it set up right now, the shows are the ones doing the giveaways. Instead of that, we can change the scripts or whatever and have Liam be the one doing the giveaways while we're resetting for each.
See, that sounds
Sounds much better.
more logical.
And actually thinking about it technically,
Yeah.
thinking about it technically, I think if we put these stand-up mics at the desk instead of trying to lob everyone on and off, I think that'll work better.
But the stand-up mics don't work.
You just gotta power them up. You get preamp, that's all.
Yeah, because changing back and forth.
From the mics and whatever, so people just get up and,
Sit down.
and also, you know, to help Liam, like the people who are getting up can help Liam give stuff away or whatever, or while the other people are sitting down and organizing their thoughts.
Then I'll have a mic that I can walk around with, yeah?
Yeah.
And then, so if they have any like questions or anything like that, I can just run into the audience quickly and
Right.
do blah blah blah. And then they're sitting down, yeah?
Mhm.
And then grab it with the basketball. If you sit down and commentate on it, and I'll go around the board.
Yeah, we have to like.
Can you say that out loud so that we can understand what you're talking about?
What did you hear it?
I didn't hear it, no, I didn't.
We're gonna be commentating the dunk.
You're gonna be here.
It's either dunk or three throw. We haven't decided yet.
Or
Or poke.
Okay, and so you two are gonna be here, Liam's gonna be somewhere in here.
Yeah. And we're gonna pick some people out of the audience, random. I can run around and grab them while they're talking. And they're like, hey, get the fit girl in the back.
Yeah.
I'm like, which one? There's loads. Whatever. Pick up a fit
All of
girl.
them.
Pick up a guy or whatever. Bring them over. We've got a little basketball thing. Free throw contest. They take the mick out of
So
them as they're doing it.
bring them over to where?
Well, I don't know because
I'll get that form.
could we? Should I bring the machine to here Right, we need somewhere to put a basketball hoop that's not going to interfere. So maybe we could do it on the side here. Boom.
Talking about like a kiddie
Yeah,
Fisher-Price basketball.
yeah, we've got a little one at one of the houses that we stick on the wall, and whenever
Yeah.
we don't do this, by the way, Coach, if you're listening, but if we were ever to consume any alcohol, we'd have competitions, and if you missed, you'd take it in. But we don't do that for the record.
There are poles that are holding up the ceiling
Yeah.
here, I believe. So if you put it on one of the poles here, that'll keep it away from this area, which I'm still very scared about because we haven't even talked about the camera that shoots these people in the middle of this lock hallway. It's a video camera sitting around there. So, but in terms of there's poles there, you stick it on a pole, and that's out of the way.
Because I'm not tied down to it, they're commentating, as long as they can see it, and then we could get like half the crowd, like we can get their mates, if we pick one from this half of the crowd, you're on Joe's side, this half's on Larissa or whatever the girl's name is, and then, yeah, I'll cheer for her, and she's like,
Can I interrupt? Can I make a suggestion? When we go and scout locations, like we're gonna do this one later today, can we make sure that we take pictures and maybe have a file somewhere, maybe in our drive or whatever, that has each location listed and pictures of the location and what resources we have there? Because I feel like we've already scouted this location. I feel like I should be able to see pictures of this right now, but we don't. So I'm not familiar with that cafeteria at all. I've maybe walked through it a half a dozen times. So I'm having a very hard time visualizing what's going on now.
But would it make any sense to go over there now and have our class there?
Yes.
school trip.
Field trip. And then Andre gets here and you go like, what happened?
Yeah.
We can leave him a
That's
note.
very good.
I'll leave him on a business card. Does it make any sense to do it?
Makes plenty of sense.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take a drive.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody, I'll leave something on the board here. I'll tell her.
I didn't text Andre.
I have a question
Yeah.
about the lineup. Is the reason going last and then we go first again and having you kind of oversight? Yeah.
Yeah, shouldn't there be something between the weekly, because the weekly rundown will go last in the live show and then we'll come back at 2:30 with another weekly rundown? Should we go like, should the sports come first and then?
Maybe
then
after.
Put a water cooler in the middle of it.
We'll be able to time for that then.
Let me,
Raise her in the water cooler.
as we drive over, I'll think about it.
People will get tired of looking at us.
All right, let's go.
We're taking over.
Are we taking
Okay,
our?
remember, we're going to David Sultan Hall, to that cafeteria.
Wait, we did not think about parking.
Oh, we did not think about parking.
Oh, yeah, try to,
So let's take the shuttle bus.
Oh,
So we'll never. So we never get there then. That's just.
No, I'm not coming back then.
well, now you have to.
Who wants to drive?
I'll drive. I'm driving.
Who wants to drive and drop me
How
off?
that works?
Who wants to drive me and Janine and drop us off?
Okay, Dawn.
I don't want to
Grace,
cry. I
Janine.
don't want to. It's
Liam?
cold. I have open. I don't want to go there. Clearly, I'm an idiot.
Wait, did we stop the stream?
We're leaving, peace.
Let's let it go.
An empty room.
Good event.
Globesville died.
Bye.
It's freaking blazing in here. Sorry, stream.